Well, I think it was right that Jim resigned. I think he had gone too far last week in terms of his remarks, and those remarks, if you like, fell below the standard that a minister in this executive is expected to take, and we were going to make that very clear this week in the Assembly that that was how the SDLP viewed it. However, while Jim has gone too far, I think the resignation in itself isn't going far enough in terms of what the DUP perspective is, and I think the DUP needs to make it clear that it doesn't share those views, and the DUP needs to make it clear that any new health minister will in effect legislate and govern and be consistent with the views of wider society and the needs of our wider population in relation to things, for example, like the blood ban, in relation to the very restrictive guidelines that the DUP have imposed around the abortion and how clinicians can operate in that regard, and of course in relation to the issue of greater equality for those who have longer-term same-sex relationships. I think it has to be said that it's clear that Jim Wells, and he reflected this in his public statement, that he has been feeling under extreme stress, and that's around his own particular family circumstances. And we as a wider society need to take account of that. And we need to recognise that whenever people find themselves in those situations, we don't add more pressure on. I would like to have seen the DUP, incidentally, take a greater duty of care towards Jim Wells, because they would have known intimately the stresses and strains that he was under. But nonetheless, he was still Health Minister, he was still going to stand in Southdown, and he's still out on the hustings trail. Peter Robinson recognised last week that Jim Wells was under stress, but he knew that before any of these issues. So I don't accept that people sort of say he's under stress. I want to see them do something about a minister or any individual when they're under that type of pressure. I know it's difficult in politics, but at the same time, the party could have done more.